Good day, this is Ikeolu Biobako, the Chief Responsibility Officer of Mix and Bake. Welcome to the Mix and Bake online school, online classes. Today, I want to teach you how to make the sunflower on a celebration cake, a wedding cake, or whatever you want to use it for. Now, we have a few things here to show you. But before that, I just want to let you know we are doing two different types of sunflowers. We have the sugar paper sunflower and we'll be doing the gum paste sunflower. For today, we will be teaching you the sugar paper sunflower, and there are a few things you need to achieve the sugar paper sunflower. You need your templates, because the template is what will give you the design and the size of the petals. You would also need some sugar paper, the yellow. We all know sunflower is yellow and brown, so you need the yellow and you need the brown for the center. A few other things you need: scissors, okay, the scissors. Then if you have the multi-blade scissors, that would also be very useful. But if you don't, never mind, you can definitely use a single scissors. You need some other things: the glue stick, the gun glue, then a pencil and a harder paper for your templates too. Now, like I said earlier, to achieve the sunflower, you need your template to achieve the sunflower, which I showed you earlier on. So we're going to be cutting the templates. Now the templates come in different sizes. So for now we have 3 different sizes we're using for the sunflower. Okay, so I'm just going to trim this and cut it out. So this is what you get after cutting. Now, to prevent you from cutting over and over and over again anytime you want to do the sunflower, I would advise you get a harder sugar paper, cut out the template and store the template in a file or something. So these are the 3 different sizes I'm going to be using, all right? All these templates are on the system. You can download them, print out, and cut out. Now, the first thing I'm going to be doing now is I will spread out my paper. Of course, I don't need the whole length. I just need a bit. So remember, you need a pencil. So you will place your templates, your cutout templates, on your paper and trace out. Trace on the yellow to get the exact size, okay? So I'm going to do that to all the 3. And the 3rd size, which is a smaller. So here we have large, medium, and small. Okay, then I grab my scissors and cut out the patterns I've drawn already. Then I will trim out each one to get the exact template I want. Now, you are to cut between 8 to 12. What I mean is, you could decide to use 8 petals each. You could decide to use 12 petals each. So, I have the big one. I'm going to cut out 8 of this. You could do 10 or you could do 12. The more you have it, the wider your sunflower is going to be. So you would have 12 of this, 12 of this, and 12 of this. So I start by trimming it. You can download all the instructions step by step from the system and just print to guide you. So make sure you cut it neatly. So I'm going to do this to the first size, the second size, and the last size. Okay, and that's the actual color we need. So I'm going to cut a smaller one again. And that's the small size and the biggest size. And that's it. So you have the big, the medium, and the small. And I have cut out all this ready for you now. So I have some here, 8 pieces, another 8 pieces, another 8 pieces. Another thing you need is the base that your sunflower is going to be arranged on. The same way you go, you trace, and you cut out. Now, one thing I must advise is your base should always be thicker than the petals. So your base petal should be thicker than your the petals you're going to arrange. Now remember, the petals are going to come on this round. Okay, so again, I would cut the round. So, and that's it. I'm ready with all the patterns I need. So I'm just going to take them out. Take the pin, the clip. I use the clipping. So you have them. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 here. Same thing. 12, 12. Remember I said you can do 12, 10 or 8 depending on how wide spread you want it. Now, the next thing I would advise you to do, because you know your petals have to have that natural curve and natural look. So you could either use your glue stick or you use a plastic to create that curve. So with the glue stick, in case you do not have this, it's just a plastic that curves. It's a sharp-edged plastic that curves the sugar paper. Now, if you don't have this, you can use your glue stick. With your glue stick, what you do is you roll it on the glue stick and you release it. Can you see it comes out curved? So you can use either one. So I'll just quickly do that to all of them to give it that natural look. that natural sunflower curved look. Okay, can you see that? So I do the medium one. And the smallest one. So we have our full petal. Can you see the transformation? Magic, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to push this to the side. So you have 12 here, 12 here, and 12 here, and you have your base template. So now we are going to start arranging the petals around our base. That's what we're going to start with now. So the first thing you do is to start with the largest of the sizes, out of the 3 sizes, the largest. And at this point, you will need your sugar gun. Okay, we will be placing our petals on the base now. Remember, I showed you the glue gun. I told you we have the blue glue gun, the big glue gun, and we also have a small one. So either way, on your materials on the online, I'll give you the different addresses you can purchase these things from wherever you may be. You can also purchase online. So you have the small, you have the large, you have the medium, you have, basically what you just need to know is that it's called the glue gun. It's used for sticking. Now this carries the hot glue. So you have the hot glue and the cold glue. The only difference between the hot glue and the cold glue is the hot glue dries out really fast, but the cold glue takes time. You also have to be careful with the hot glue so it doesn't burn you. Now, one other thing I would like to do is I'll just make a line in the center of each petal just to give it a texture. You can either use a ruler or use your plastic taper or something. Okay, so I'll just do that to all of them just to give it a textured design. So remember, this is what we're trying to do, to give it a line at the back, trying to make it look as real as possible. Okay, so you will then arrange your large petals. Remember, we're starting with the large petals. We have the large petals, we have the medium, and we have the small. We are starting on the outer part with the large petals. And what we do is we just place a bit of glue at the back of the base of the petal, and you glue. Okay, can you see that? So it's coming up. You glue, and you keep doing that round the circumference of the base, close to the first one. So close by one here, the next one should be side by side. And that's what I keep doing till I go round. And remember, just the base. We're just doing the base. So again, and you know, just about a bit less than half an inch is what you need actually. Don't do it up to half, or you know, just the base part. So I keep arranging round, okay, side by side. Then you know, one thing you can also do, you can do like a little arrangement first, trying to check it out before you start arranging. So you are sure you are not just arranging. Can you see that? So without the glue, I already have this, okay? So that means I'm right on course, so I'll just continue. So are you enjoying my class? Okay, so we are done with the largest petal, which is the base petal. Can you see that? It's coming up, it's coming up. Just keep at it. Just keep watching. So we move on to the second size, the medium size. So we do exactly the same thing we did to the big one. Just texture the middle, the center of your paper. And I'll just do the smallest so I don't have to come back to doing the same thing again. So with the smallest one, you do exactly the same thing. Basically, just to texture it, to make it look more, you know, as natural as possible, even though it's more or less a fantasy one, not the one from your garden. Okay, so we are set for the next set of petals. Now for the next set of petals, which is a medium petal, you will stick it in between the larger petal. Now, don't place it on top. Place it in the middle of the two large petals. Hope you get me, like so. Okay, so we start that now. So you place in between. And you know, be careful, once you stick it, it sticks. It's difficult to get it out. So you have to make sure you get it right from the beginning. But the thing is, with the cold glue, you can tear it out, try to rearrange. But with the hot glue, it's very fast. It sticks really fast. So remember, you're sticking in between the middle of the larger petal. So note. So I'm just going to stick everything while you watch. And be careful not to stick your hands in the glue, because it could hurt you. And when ending, push one up and place it in. Then you finish up with this one where you see that there's a bit of space. Okay, and that's it. And the final petal. Can you see this is quite an easy task to achieve and beautiful too. So again, in between the center or the center of the medium petals, and you continue. The center of the medium petals. And finally, you place the last one. Okay, and just try to adjust the petals. And that's what we have. So at this stage, we're going to do our center. Okay, you can see there's something missing. We're going to do our center. Wow, so we are almost getting to the end of the beautiful sunflower. The next thing we need to do is the center. Can you see this has a center? And of course, the real sunflower we see in the gardens have centers, and the center is brown. So you get your brown sugar paper, you cut it into about 2 inches. Now, depending on the size of the of your sunflower, you will get a guide to download on your system. So basically, this is about 2 to 3 inches, like 2.5 inches. Okay, so you just do that with a ruler. Then you trim the edges. You would have cut it from the bigger one. Then you trim the edges, just making sure you have a straight edge. Okay, so I just want to make sure I have a straight edge. Then you do the same thing to the other side. Just trim it to have a straight edge. Let me turn this over here. Now, to create a center, you will bend this. This is your strip that you've cut. You bend it over. You bend it over like you're doubling it. Then to stick it, you will use the gun, the glue, so it sticks. Okay, so you bend it over and stick it. So you press it down. The areas that don't stick properly, just apply some more glue and stick again. Can you see that? Then the glue side should be away from you, and you grab your multi-bladed scissors. Remember, I said you can always use a single one. The only difference is this one will cut 4 times more than the single one. So because I want to work fast, I'm going to use this one. So I cut. You're just going to cut several strips. Now remember, when cutting the strip, leave a distance between the end and like a quarter of an inch, you know, about a quarter of an inch. Because if you cut it all the way down, it will shred. We don't want that to be done. So make sure you don't cut it all the way down. We just need it a bit away from the base. And that you cut into strips. Can you see that? Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do to my strip, I'm going to roll it into a ball tightly or around you know, circle or something. I'm just going to roll it over like this. Now before I roll it over, I would need my glue again. So in bits, I just place my glue on each side bit by bit. Now don't use the whole glue down because it may dry up. So what I do is I'm folding it over. That's what I'm doing here, folding over on the glue. Okay, so I'm just going to do it in bits because if I do it all the way down, remember, it's a hot glue, it dries up fast. So just roll it over. Keep rolling over. Steady it with your hand. And that's what we have. Then you spread out. You could decide to leave it like this, or you could shred it open. I'll just shred the outer part open. You could decide to leave it like this or just shred it open. So the next thing I do is my glue at the base. Glue at the base to stick it to the middle of your sunflower. So we're placing this right here. So you spread it as much as possible. Like I said, you could just open some of it up. Okay. And that's our sunflower. Now, if you want it to be fuller than this, you could decide to add one more line, just one more line, because sometimes when it's too full, it makes it look too puffy. But I think I'll just leave mine like this. Isn't this so pretty and beautiful? In the next lesson, we're going to be showing you how to place it on our cake. All right. Thank you, and see you in the next lesson.